A lot of you may have looked at this question and saw Einstein and Galileo and immediately got nervous or scared or just thought you couldn't answer the question because of that you don't know who Einstein and Galileo are. However, this question isn't really trying to figure out your knowledge of Einstein and Galileo as much as it is just trying to figure out if you can look at a question and really just think about it and find the answer. Let's look at it together. They made important discoveries in science that changed the scientific world. Now, the little bit you do know about these guys is that they're both dead and they're old. That's the little bit that you should have known by now. You don't necessarily know what Einstein did or what Galileo found, but you do know that they're old and that they're dead. So, what do their discoveries suggest about the process of scientific study? Well, some branches of science are hard to study without equipment. That wouldn't really answer the question because how would that make any sense? Some branches of science are hard to study without equipment. Doesn't show you what their discoveries suggest about the scientific process. It doesn't. It doesn't answer. It simply doesn't answer the question, and in fact, is the opposite of what the answer should be. So that's not the right answer. Lack of sophisticated equipment is a limiting factor for researchers. So these guys lived a long time ago. They found stuff out a long time ago, and they still managed to do it without a whole lot of sophisticated equipment. So this would not be true either. It's not their lack of sophisticated equipment that was a limited factor for them. They actually were able to find out a whole lot without very sophisticated equipment. So this would not be true either. Okay, C, it is easier to make major discoveries when scientists have less equipment. That's not necessarily true. I mean, it may be it's probably easier with a lot of equipment than it is with a little equipment. Now, these guys were brilliant geniuses and they found out a lot without equipment, but imagine if they did have equipment. So this doesn't this is not true at all. I mean, if you look at it and you really think about it, you can see that this is not true either. Some discoveries are possible without the use of sophisticated equipment. Now, if you just knew that Einstein and Galileo are dead and that they're old, you probably could think in your head, okay, hey, these guys lived a while ago and they didn't really have a lot of sophisticated equipment, but they discovered a lot. So without really knowing exactly what Einstein did and exactly the information Galileo found, you could just figure out from the little information that you do know about them that they're old, that I have a poster of one of them, and that they lived a long time ago. You can figure out that they still had a lot of scientific discoveries and they didn't use a lot of sophisticated equipment.